There we go. All right, recording. Hi everybody, Shanti Niven from Captivating Speakers, Shanti Niven International, with our first ever ProSpeak, and it's launching tonight. And for you, the lucky 10, my chosen dream team, this is your first step into the professional speaking world. If you want to become a professional speaker, you're in the right place. If you want to earn a lot of money through your speaking, you're in the right place. If you are wanting to use your speaking to promote your own business, you're in the right place. Hang in there because this is going to be one hell of a ride. We have 8 webinars and there's going to be some homework in between. Tonight we're going to be covering some of the stuff that you will learn over the next 8 weeks. If you have not already booked for your discovery session, most of you have, but if you have not, please book. Take the 2 to 3 hours out to come and see me, sit down, and this is where I get to know you. It might seem like I'm just getting to know a little bit about you as a person and about your life, but this is a very important part of this journey, getting to your core, understanding what it's all about and what you're here to do, what your message is. So book for that discovery session. The second thing that you need to do, and you need to do tonight, is to join the ProSpeak Facebook page. Now, the reason I ask you to do that is because I will be sharing some information there. And also, it's the place where I'm going to get you to upload any homework until we get to the place where we have built our platform. And that will be coming up very soon. I've had some very exciting news to share on that front. So let's, without any further ado, move into sharing my screen. And here we go. What are you going to learn over the next 8 weeks? First of all, I want to say to everybody that's participating in the ProSpeak series and being part of the Dream Team is that I'm not going to be dragging you to success. I'm going to give you the keys and the tools, and I'm going to provide you everything you need to be successful. But you have to do the work. You have to do the work. Who knows that you cannot be, for example, a successful sports person if you're not practicing? This is a key and critical element of what I'm going to be teaching you over the next 8 weeks. You need to be practicing your presentation skills. You need to be doing the work. And here's the incentive. You have paid, and you've paid dearly to be part of this group. If you are not able to keep up and you're not able to do the work, there are no refunds. You are going to lose all the money that you've invested. And I sincerely hope that you don't do that, because I want you to succeed more than anything. I know that what I have put together over my 30 years of experience will help you to succeed. I will give you some real meat. I will give you such value, but you need to do the work. Commit tonight to doing whatever it takes to be successful, and you will be successful. So let's just go over a quick program overview. What you're going to learn, first of all, is your personal brand identity, and that UVP stands for your unique value proposition. You need to know what it is about you is unique and different. What is it about you that is going to be able, we're going to be able to monetize, that the world's going to be willing to pay for? Part of discovering that is to come to your discovery session. It's just the beginning though. You're not going to just suddenly arrive at what this is. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of digging to get right down to your core. But I'm going to help you get there. That I promise. The next thing is your unique brand archetype. Now, what does an archetype mean? I am very averse to putting people in boxes. However, when you are looking at your brand, you want to know, is your brand going to be very upmarket? Is it going to be, are you going to be catering to a very upmarket, high net worth individual? Are you going to be catering to the masses? Because your style is going to come in here. Is your style a little bit naughty and fun, like everybody refers to naughty Niven? So I can speak to a very upmarket demographic. I can speak to managers and CEOs and top people, but I've got that little sort of naughty edge, and everybody knows that. Do you have a little bit of the jester archetype? Mine apparently is superhero and jester. Those are the two that came up very strongly for me. So we're going to help you through a test discover what is your archetype. What is your style? Are you very academic? Are you going to be a motivator? Are you going to be more of an inspirer, the storyteller? Now, all of you are going to tell stories, but that's a very important part of speaking, by the way. But what is your predominant style? Is it preacher political? What is it? Then what should you be talking about? What is the content? Some of you already know. You've studied for years on your particular subject. You've become an expert in your field. Others of you are not sure, or you're like me, that you've learned a lot about a lot of different things. And I mean, I really have. There was a time in my life that I wondered, people would think I was absolutely crazy if they had to look at all the things that I studied, from landscaping and design and color psychology and studying psychology and neuroscience and human movement sciences. I was so interested in so many things, and whatever I was interested in, I would study. Now, what has come out is that there were three main things that I was more interested in than anything else. The number one thing was communication and relationships. And I think communication creates relationships. The workings of the mind, neuroscience, and social psychology and behavioral psychology. So it really comes down to, I really like to know what makes people tick. And I want to help people maximize who they are and become better people. But my new thing has been really to help people succeed at whatever it is that they want to do. So we now need to discover and uncover what it is you should be talking about and what people would be willing to pay you for. The next thing is, who should you be talking to? One of the biggest frustrations for speakers bureaus and agents for speakers is that the kind of speaker that is a pretty good speaker, but he doesn't know who his demographic is. He doesn't know who he's actually supposed to be speaking to. Is this somebody who is got a real message for young people and wants to go out to all the schools around the country? There are a lot of people doing that, making a lot of money. Is this a person that is going to go out and speak to professionals, middle managers, executives, CEOs? You really do need to be very clear about your demographic. Now, some people do say, well, what about Tony Robbins? He speaks to everybody. And that may be true, but I'm going to tell you that as a speaker, you need to be very clear and very targeted and very singular in terms of who your demographic is, and very, very defined about that. Here's what I want you to envisage. When you start out, you're putting your roots down. That's what you're doing right now. And you're going to grow the trunk of the tree. One trunk, one singular trunk. And then when you've reached the top, you can start to branch out. Honestly, then you could talk about anything you wanted to whomever you wanted to talk to, and people would listen, right? The next thing you are going to learn is the knowledge that you need to succeed. Now, when I say the knowledge, I'm not talking about the knowledge that you have to bring to the table. Notice I put the capital K. I'm talking about the knowledge that you need to have that I've accrued over 30 years of my experience. And very, very much so over the last 10 years in America, because when I came here to America from South Africa, it was literally like taking a little tiny tadpole and throwing it into the ocean. I had no idea what I was doing. I had fairly big fish in South Africa. I had been on radio, one of the most listened to radio stations in South Africa. At one stage, we had a listenership of 7 million people. That's huge. We're syndicated all over the world. I was on television. I had a very successful business that I built then into 8 and bought over 8 other companies. I was a director of a charity. So I kind of achieved quite a lot there. But coming to this country, I was nobody. I had no name. Nobody knew who I was. And then when I went through my divorce, I had literally, after all of that, I won't go into the story now, but I had $1,000 to my name, 2 dependents, and I had to start a business. And so I had to get the knowledge very, very quickly in order to succeed in an environment that I'd never been in. And I think this is pretty much given me a level of expertise. If I can do it, trust me, anybody can do it. I've mentioned this. My first year of actual business, I made $380,000. That was quite an achievement, I think, by anyone's standards, for a very first year in business without any investment or capital to start out. And it just kept on doubling up and increasing and increasing. Okay, the next thing, from the knowledge, having the knowledge and the understanding of what it is that you have to do, the next thing will be your strategy. Now, the strategy is something I will help you with, how to put together a plan. Because A lot of you are going to want to say, and I've heard this from some of my clients, well, where can I go and speak next week? How can I get paid next week? And look, that is possible. It is possible if you have a high profile. One of my clients right now is a celebrity and definitely would be able to go out and book gigs, and I would be able to help her do that. For most of you, you're going to need to take these steps to become well known and develop certain things, put certain things into place to get there. And the final thing would be how to execute the plan. It's very important. Have a plan, now how to execute that, and then market yourself effectively. Excuse me. Okay, so here are some of the topics covered. I'm not going to talk about them too much right now. This was in the previous introductory slideshow. You're going to be getting a copy of this, so you can go over this yourself. But basically, you're going to know your brand. What do you have that others want? And we're going to be focusing on that one thing. Developing your content, the kind of content that your audience will want to hear, creating a speaker's bio that will best impress. And remember, you don't need formal qualifications or credentials. You can have them, but they're not that important. Getting great testimonials, written and video, so that you can promote yourself. Creating appealing marketing material, your business cards, should you have them. There are some people that believe business cards are actually not necessary. So I'll talk about that. Your one sheet, your press kit, all of that kind of stuff. And what are the latest trends with regard to marketing yourself as a speaker? You will have to have a website, or at the very least, landing pages, which we will go into on a particular presentation. You have to have an online store or some way of people being able to buy your products, your services, or whatever it is. It has to be very easily accessible. You need to create your own speaker's reel. This is a sample, a 3 to 4 minute sample of what you can do, and very clear about what it is. What are your offerings? What is it that you can offer? You will need to use social media. In today's world, there is no getting around it. You need to learn what kind of social media is going to best suit your purposes. I got a bit tongue twisted. So are you going to use Facebook? Are you going to use LinkedIn? Are you going to use Instagram? Are you going to, what social media is going to best suit your purposes? You are going to learn how to write and market a best-selling book or books. And every single one of you is going to be encouraged to write at least a book. It becomes your calling card. And people today say, is it that important? I think it is important to say that you're a published author. I think it's also today become a little bit of a calling card. It is your core message in print. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. I will share with you how to do this pretty simply. Best of all, I'm going to teach you how to get paid speaking gigs and how to get them. So all of this is going to be covered in the topics in the coming weeks ahead, and you're going to enjoy it. Most important thing right now, I want you to start thinking about your goals through this program. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to earn? And the sky is the limit. Literally, the sky is the limit. The potential to earn with the information that I give you is enormous. You can earn millions of dollars, millions. You could earn tens of millions of dollars if that is the type of ambition you have. Or you may only have an ambition to earn $200,000 a year or whatever it is that you need to survive. These are your personal goals. And remember one thing, the higher the goal, the harder the work, the bigger the investment of time. There's no getting around any of that. Anyone who tells you how to get rich quick is lying to you. There is no get rich quick scheme. No true scheme. I'm going to give you some of the shortcuts because honestly, it's not difficult to make money if you know how. And that's what I'll be showing you. Here are some of the ways, I'm just going to be recapping on this, that you can be earning through speaking. So number one, you could become a full-time professional speaker. To be a professional speaker, you need to be damn good. You need to be so good. You need to be polished, and you need to have a really good message. You're going to have people saying, whoa. Take a look at Mel Robbins. She recently she did a TED Talk, and that TED Talk just rocketed her to success. But she's a good speaker. So we're going to be watching a number of speakers, and you're going to ask yourself, do I have what it takes to be a professional speaker? What type of speaker are you? Are you informative, motivational, inspirational, entertaining? Do you have that sort of sense of humor? Could you be a stand-up comedian? Any one of these things. We're going to ask, can you be a standalone professional speaker? Ask yourself that. If not, do you know what? It's possible. I have taken people from zero to hero. But again, you're going to have to do the work. Do you want to be a trainer? Some people really enjoy training others and teaching others. And you can make money through running classes, workshops, seminars, doing corporate training. I've done all of this and made a fair amount of money out of this. I can give you some guidance as to what to charge, where to get the work, that kind of stuff. Do you want to become a coach? This is one area that I really love. I love helping people succeed. A lot of people have said I'm more than just a speaking coach, that I'm a life coach. I like to think I'm a transformative coach. I like to transform people's lives. You can do that in person, one-on-one, which I love to do, but it's becoming more and more popular to do it online. And I'm coaching people around the world. So that's the beauty of Zoom and Skype and all of these online methods. The next big one, I want you to underline this one, online education. I can't emphasize this enough. There are people making literally, people that I would never have imagined making millions and millions of dollars through online education. Now, one of the classes that we run, one of the webinars is going to be purely on this and how you can create a course online and market it. One person I went through training actually has made $800 million out of online training. And I learned the system, so I'm going to be able to pass that information on to you. The next is ancillary sales. Those are your products and services. You could be selling books, audio programs, all sorts of other stuff. I went and did a presentation last night for a group of engineers. I'm not sure how many engineers were in the room. There was supposed to be 80, but I didn't count. But we sold a lot of books, and a lot of people have been making contact through the website. It's a very, very good way to market your company, is to go out and speak to groups. And I'm going to tell you what groups to go and speak to. You can use speaking to promote your business. I know that one of our participants here has his own business in a very specific industry. And you can use speaking to promote your industry, become an expert, become well known. And you want to be able to do that not just for groups, but you want to be able to do that on YouTube and on various other places where you can start to become recognized as an expert. One of the secrets to my success in South Africa was running. I had a company, and my company was involved in finishes and in decorating, would you believe? I always say then I used to improve houses, now I'm improving people. But I got onto a DIY radio show, and I was initially doing this little slot, and I became known as Lady DIY. I just was a play on the Lady Di. I remember at the time was the big name. Who married Prince Charles and became Princess Diana. So I was Lady DIY, and some people said, why would you tell people how to do stuff when you want to invite that business in and you want to be able to do the stuff for them? And I said, well, I established myself as an expert in that area. And it really paid off because I became known as being an expert in that specific area. And so people would call me in to look at their homes and get advice. And of course, we got a lot of work from that radio show, a lot of mileage. And eventually I was running a decorating show and about homes, and did a television slot on a magazine show about beautifying your home. So I became known as an expert in that field. The next thing is to consult. You can become a consulting expert. I did a topic on conflict resolution. Today I received in my inbox a question: can you do conflict resolution within a company? Could you consult? Absolutely. You can charge a good whack of money for consulting. Just quickly, I'm going to do a quick overview. This is going to be covered in one of the webinars, and that is the online learning phenomenon. This is absolutely huge. The quality, however, has been depreciating. There are hundreds, literally hundreds of platforms with online learning content, but the content itself is not very good. Here are some of the options that you can have out here, and there literally are hundreds more. Your own website or platform with videos that you can provide with your online trading. And a lot of companies and individuals are going for that option. And they have been using things like ClickFunnels, and there's many systems that you'll see advertised on Facebook and all over the place. They're becoming a little defunct right now. And I'm going to get David Lofi, who's actually a participant in this webinar. I'm going to be getting him to be helping a lot of you with understanding what you need to do to promote your online course. You can go on YouTube, and I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail in one of the webinars, how to use YouTube to monetize your speaking, also how to create and market yourself as an expert in a certain field. Now, the big one that you all know about is Udemy, but there's also LinkedIn Learning and Coursera, and there are so many other online learning platforms where you can submit content. We have a course on Udemy that, I mean, I get paid every month. I don't even, a check comes in every single month from just one program that we put on. I'll be honest, we should have used that a lot more. When I wanted to do it many years ago, if we had put more content on, I would have been earning money, passive income right now. Didn't do it. But I'm going to show you guys how you can make money with the online learning. Right, this is just a repeat of what you did in the intro webinar. Very quickly, what do you charge as a professional speaker if you wanted to be a professional speaker? When you start out, you would charge, I wrote $50 to $500, but in fact, you are going to charge zero, nothing. You're going to go out and speak for free so that you can build your speaker's reel. You need to go out there, and I will show you in the very first webinar how you can go out. I'll show you how Lisa Nichols went from nothing to making millions of dollars using the system I will share in the very next webinar. So that's coming up. Emerging speakers, 500 to 2K, networked 2K to 10, circuit 10K to 20, name recognition, someone like a Florence LaRue who is now on board our dream team, and I'm doing private coaching, 50K to 75K, celebrity speakers, and when we talk celebrity speakers, we're talking about people with a big name, 100 to 500, marquee speakers, Bill Clinton and the likes, 500K to $1 million, some people even more. The market, this was also in the original, $100 billion is spent on business meetings, events worldwide, and they're all looking for speakers. 1.8 million meetings and events, conferences in the US alone. Those are all potential for you to go out and speak. Global educational information market is estimated right now at 14 trillion. Now I'm talking about worldwide annually. And the last little thing is the average speaker's stated income from speaking alone is 177K per year, as provided by the National Speakers Association. And that's from all their speakers. Some people are doing it part-time, some people are doing it full-time, some people are dabbling, and some people are doing it professionally. So that's across the board. So the earning potential is huge. There are speakers earning millions of dollars. I want to talk to all of you about doing a TED Talk, and I want to suggest that you don't jump into it until you're very clear on your brand and on your message. Because when you do a TED Talk, you will forever be known for that subject or that topic that you choose to share. Look at the Brené Brown phenomenon. She is now known for that topic that she chose, which is the power of vulnerability or being vulnerable. And so she's become very, very well known for that. Sir Ken Robinson talking about creativity and education. And Amy Cuddy about your body language. So there are lots and lots of events, and we're going to be working, each one of you, as part of your vision and your planning will be to do a TED Talk. Initially you do a TEDx talk. I will tell you how to get onto a TEDx talk, how to compose and put together a TED Talk. And you will do this. Within the 8 weeks, you will have a plan at least, and you will do it in the year following. The types of gigs that are looking for speakers, I did give this to you before. So we have Master of Ceremonies, keynote speakers, general session speakers at conferences, concurrent speakers, for trainers. Even at the big conferences, they will have little workshops running and little seminars running. An after dinner speaker, facilitator, moderator, or panel MC. And the other way that you can make money is doing voiceover work. Okay, a lot of this is just really rehashing what we talked about initially before you got on board. Some of the other ways to monetize, you've got to be building some stuff, books and print, audio programs, having curriculum, online courses, training, workshops, white papers, do in-person training programs and workshops, coaching, consulting work, or train the trainer programs, or sponsorships. These are just other ways. Now, whether you use all of them or some of them or one of them, it doesn't matter. But if I go out to a speaking event, if I get paid, so for example, I went to a speaking event and I was paid my speaker's fee and then also sold books, sold programs, and then also I add to my database. I can't explain to you enough, or I can't express enough the value of database, but that will go into in another webinar. All right, I've already showed you this. This is a very real, very conservative way for you to earn $1 million a year. Now, are you going to do that in your first year? Probably not, but you can do this. If you have a plan and you execute this plan, within 3 to 5 years, you can be getting to $1 million a year. And all you need to do is do a speaking gig a week at 5K. If you get up to a 20K speaking level, which you can all do, all of those I've selected could get to that. That is already quadrupled. Sell 1,000 books through your events at $20. I've already sold 4,000 in 4 months. Actually, I got to 5,000 now. So you could sell 1,000 books through your events in 1 year. Sell 1,000 audio programs. We have an audio program called the 77 Laws of Public Speaking. Not sure how many we've sold of those, but if you promote actively, you can be selling those. You can be selling online webinars, which is what I'm doing right now. Work it out. 10 people pay $5,000. That's $50,000 for one webinar. I'm going to be launching with my Rapid Results Program online, RRP online. That's going to be launching next week. I want to be able to sign up a few hundred people on that particular webinar. I've just had my marketing consultant set the price for that, and it was actually a lot higher than I thought I was going to sell it for. But he said that that program is worth at least $3,000. But I'm not going to sell it for that initially because I am launching. Get 20 coaching clients for the year. That's not a lot. And 1,000 sales of a training program. 1,000 sales of a training program. All right, and that would equal $1 million. Now, I also want to mention to you that if you're promoting your business, your services through speaking, it's a very good way to do it. Just the gig I did last night, I've had inquiries in my inbox today about whether I can go through to companies, whether I can do this or do that or do the other. I was awarded a $3 million contract after one 20-minute talk for the Human Resources Association. Very important for you to get exposure and promote your business. Now, the question that you may ask yourself is, what qualifies me? And that's what we're going to get to. I've had people say to me, but I don't have any degrees, or I have a degree and I'm specialized in one area. We've got one person who is qualified as a pharmacist, but wants to do so much more. This is where I'm here to help you. You'd be surprised. You have specialist knowledge that people want to hear. You just don't know what it is yet. So I'm going to ask you again, what are you saying? Why would people pay to hear you present? Why would they pay you? Think about that for a moment. I'm just asking the question. I'm not giving you the answer. We're going to answer that through this training. And what do you know that they want to know? You'd be very surprised. One of my clients has got so much knowledge and information. I'm sure he's not going to mind me mentioning his name. His name is Stuart. He is absolutely brilliant at what he does, but he's had a really hard time getting paid for what he does because he doesn't understand that people would want to pay him for what he does. Very important to bridge that gap and to know that you have something that will help people, that you're not trying to sell to them, but that you're trying to serve them and help them to be better. Think about it this way. The knowledge that I'm giving you guys right now, I can't even tell you how much I've paid for this knowledge over my lifetime. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you guys get to pay $5,000. And honestly, $5,000, when you start to think about what you can earn based on the information that I'm giving you, is minimal. What would you pay for your education? What have you paid for your education? This really is very cheap in consideration for what you can make if you apply everything that you are learning. Right, so first thing I want to do, and I apologize that this is done the way it is done, I'm going to really need some help with my presentation on the webinar, is to look at your purpose. So I just want you to look at this diagram quickly. Look first of all at the very top, and you think about what you love. What do you love? Then you think about what you, on the left side, what you are great at, what you're really good at. Are you very skilled in a particular area? Now, I think back when I was very young, I was really, really skilled at swimming. I was very skilled at dancing. I won a lot of dancing contests. I was very skilled at getting along with people. All right, so you're going to write down, we're going to give you a system whereby you're going to write down all the things that you're really great at. You might not have even studied it. You've just got a particular skill. And you'd be surprised what's going to come up on this. On the right side, what does the world need? What do other people need? And then at the bottom, what you would get paid for. Now, if you take a look at what you love at the top and on the left, what you're great at, that's your passion. If you look at the top again, what you love and what the world needs, that's your mission. If you look at what the world needs and what you will be paid for, that is your vocation. If you look at what you are great at and what you should be paid for, that is your profession. But right in the middle, if you take a look at what you love, what you're great at, what the world needs, and what they'd be willing to pay you for, that's your purpose. That's what I'm trying to get to. That is your core, right? That little cylinder in the middle. That is your core. That is what I'm going to be looking at. So that's the ideal. Doing something that you really love to do, that you're really good at, and that the world needs. If we can get you to that place, you will not feel like you have to work another day in your life, and you won't be working because you'll be doing what you love. You already saw this diagram. What is your topic? What is your message? Again, it's what you know, what you love, and what the audience wants to know. Right in the middle there. What you know about. If you're going to be speaking about topics that you don't know about, you're not going to do very well. If you are going to talk about subjects that you love alone, you may not do very well. You need to gear those two things, leverage those two things, and put them together with what does the audience want to know. So again, we'll provide you a system to get to that and to structure it in a way that people will be willing to pay for it. So let's kick off. This is what we're going to be doing for this next week. First of all, your discovery session, if you haven't booked for it, I know I'm sounding like a nag. Some of you have had it. Some of you have had a partial discovery. Some of you haven't booked for your discovery. If you haven't, I'm not going to chase you. This is not kindergarten. This is ProSpeak, and you are going to be professionals, my dream team. So please book it, because this is really, really important. Your next task is to create a vision board. Now, you don't have to create that in 1 week, but start it out. Please start developing a vision, a visual vision of images. List your personal goals first. What do you want to earn? What do you see yourself doing? And find great images and paste them onto a board. Put that board where you can see it every single day. The vision board is something that can change and grow. And by the way, another thing you can do is to create a whiteboard somewhere and draw your own vision. Draw in your own, even in stick figures, draw your own vision. There's something to be said about connecting with your pen and your hand and drawing something and your brain. That's a whole other subject. Okay, the ETR list. So now earn the right. ETR stands for earn the right, and that means earn the right to speak in a specific area. What you're going to do, this is your homework, is you're going to list all your credentials, qualifications. So if you went to university, went to college, or you got some diplomas, or you got some certificates, or you went to courses, or you got training in this area or that area or the other, you're just going to list them all. Now, we're not going to show everybody what those lists are, so it's just for your information. List them in one column. The next column is going to be your experience. So what have you learned through life? Have you run a bunch of businesses? That would mean that you have had a little bit of experience as an entrepreneur. I've had that experience. I've had to start over and create businesses from nothing. I've had a lot of experience in that area. Your hobbies and your interests, all the things that you love to do. Perhaps you love yoga, or you enjoy bodybuilding, or you're a martial artist, or whatever it is. There's a reason why your hobbies and interests can come into what you're going to be doing, and I will share that with you as well. But one of the things that I want to mention with experience is write down these words. Write it down right now. What challenges have I faced and overcome? What challenges have I faced and overcome? Have you faced sickness? What challenges have you faced and overcome? Okay, and then your daily commitment. All of this is going to be pasted up on the Facebook ProSpeak page. Please watch one talk, minimum one talk, a TED talk, a moth story, a speech per day. Watch one per day. Analyze and look at it, think about it, and I want you to post up onto ProSpeak which talk you watched with the link. I want you to do the quick wit minute practice, which will be explained up on ProSpeak as well. That is going to be what used to be known as the minute to win it practice. That is speaking conscious communication for a minute without using any filler words. Well, to get to that point, you can do this for 10, 15, 20 minutes a day while you're driving in the shower. Writing daily. Choose a select amount of time, whether it be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Write daily. It's very, very important that you write and develop content every day and mine for gems. That means find those little things that you can use in your content. Then catalog those gems. We're going to provide you the means to do that, to be able to catalog that. But in the meantime, I just want you to start collecting content and storing it. Most importantly is that you join ProSpeak, which is the Facebook group. You are going to post up one video this week, 2 to 3 minutes of you speaking about something you love on ProSpeak. Or you can speak about yourself. Tell us about yourself. 2 to 3 minute video. It has to be up before next week, Thursday night, for the next webinar. Share your little icebreaker. Tell us something about something you love, or tell us about yourself. 2 to 3 minute video. You can do it on your cell phone. You can do it in front of your video. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to be sending out a daily commitment to you, and you are going to sign that daily commitment and return it to me. And then there is going to be a need for providing proof that you've actually kept up your daily commitment. This is really important. If you commit to something, it's important that you stick to your commitment, that you do the work. And I'm going to make sure that you are accountable, that you are doing the work. Just put in, even if you put in 20 minutes a day, it is better than nothing. I am going to be raising an elite bunch of athletes, except that you are speaking athletes. So that is it in terms of the webinar. And here's me back. I want to thank you for, we went a little bit over time. It's 48 minutes based on my recording. Thank you so much for listening to all of that. This has just been an overview of what you are going to be learning over the next 8 weeks and a kickoff. The most important thing right now is, I'm going to just remind you again, your discovery session must be booked. Join the ProSpeak Facebook page. The next thing is that you're going to prepare your list. Just all the things that we've just had on the webinar. You're going to be given a link that you're going to be able to look through this webinar again. Complete your daily commitment and make sure that you do the work. Start from tomorrow to do the work. It will pay off. Very important that you come to the Captivating Speakers Gym if you can, if you're in the area. We are looking at ways that we can grow Captivating Speakers Gym and actually start creating little hubs all over the place, creating other little groups where you can get to practice. Some people have even said you could create one in your home and just get 4 to 5 people together, present your content and get feedback. That's really what it's all about. So very, very important to do that. You have to start working out your speaking muscles. So, so important. There is no breakfast club tomorrow for the rest of our captivating speakers, but there is breakfast club for those of you who are in the area to come and talk to me. So 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, right here at our Captivating Speakers Academy in Woodland Hills. If you're in the area, please show up. If 2 or 3 people show up, I don't even care. The international people, I'm going to be meeting on an international conference call. But those of you who can come in, please come in so that I can talk to you, that I can answer some of your questions, that we can chat about the plan over the next 8 weeks, because this is going to be a very exciting time and you guys are going to have a great time and you're going to achieve some wonderful things. So thank you to all of those. Wow, quite a lot of you joined me tonight, which is really wonderful. Thank you so much to all of those who did make it tonight. I would love to get some feedback from you. I'm also learning how to do this on webinar. And so I would also value some feedback and ways to improve. One of my biggest things would be, I would love to see faces. I'd love to see your faces. So now I'm going to open up just very, very quickly for the last little bit. And ask you if you have any questions. So I'm going to put it into Q&A. And I'm going to ask you to type in your questions. If you've got any questions right now, or if you'd like to speak, I can even put you on to speak. I'm going to stop the recording right now.